Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Kicking off Davos today. How's everyone doing? Good morning, Royal Palms. Good morning, Patrick on YouTube and also Patrick on Rumble. Good morning, OD Green. Good morning, Rusty on Rumble. Good morning, Jake the Snake. Good morning, Jacob. The locusts appear to have moved on to gold. Which locusts are you referring to, Jake? Gold and silver, they're a little overdone. They'll keep going till they don't. Feels like the Alps here in Maryland. You're gonna get some snow there. You get some snow there in Maryland, aren't you? Holy. What's this? And with a toasted THB bagel and with warm brie. THB. What am I? What's THB? What's a THB bagel? Good morning, Anissa. Good morning, but that sounds good. Holy. Good morning, Ted or Teddy. Good morning, David Atkins. We're we're all anti-ice this weekend in the South. You're gonna get Sterling. By the way, he texted me he's not going to be on the live stream. He's headed to the store before all the people in North Carolina insanely buy up like 5 months of supplies for their snowstorm. They're supposed to get between 4 and 11 inches, which is a lot for North Carolina, but people are going to overstock. They'll buy enough rice to feed a small Chinese village and then not know what to do with it in another week. Good morning, Daniel. Good morning. Now they'll lose power. There'll be issues, but leave some food on the shelves, people. What advice would you give to someone who's close to transitioning to trading full time as their source of income? Is there account size you recommend prior to making it full? Well, again, that depends on how much money you have and everything else. What I wouldn't do is don't put more in your account than you need to based off your position sizing. Okay? It keeps you in check. And make sure you outline your risk parameters very well because things change when you do go to full time psychologically. Towson hot bagels. Okay. I have not heard of Towson hot bagels. Good morning, Zello. New York's, well, I love New York style bagels from even when I used to live in New York City for years. I like myself a good everything bagel. Toasted. We're supposed to get 8 to 12 inches in Maryland. I remember when I lived in Maryland in what was it, 2008? We got where I live, we got 26 inches. Oh, we had a nor'easter hit. That was not fun. Lived outside Washington, D.C. area. All right, that's enough about that. We got Davos going on, so we got to be on our toes. I think Trump's talking now. What else? Not much. Back in the good old USA. Good old USA. Not much going on. What we got? What was Redbook? 5.5. Pending home sales. Not much going on. So it's all Davos today. All Davos. So we don't need to focus on that. S&P 500, well, you got the chips bouncing back a little. The chips bouncing back. I'm going to be watching to see if we get, Netflix down 666. Oh, 667. We're all saved. Netflix reported beat, but Netflix is trading against very key support. It actually looks like it's broken it. So I'll be watching for a bounce in Netflix in the coming days, but we could still be in sell mode longer term. Johnson Johnson was a miss on EPS, down 2.51. If Johnson Johnson can sustain a much bigger pullback, I'm interested in it, but it needs to get back into the weekly rotation zone and form a bottoming pattern. So we got chips. We got mixed with the mega caps and chips today. Financials are holding in there okay. Groups, let's just do a quick refresh. We got basic materials, energy, and utilities Technology, all leading comm services pulling back. Not a lot. I mean, we've had the sell off, but there's no panic in this sell off at all. 95% for the Fed meeting in 7 days, next Wednesday, for the pause. Pulled back to neutral mode. All right, somebody's really messing with something, because you think this is extreme fear? We're in extreme fear from dropping from 7K to 68. That's extreme fear? My goodness, what was this then? Absurd. Somebody's ruined their model. 39.94 below 40. Yeah, I did not look at Halliburton this morning. I was mainly looking at Johnson Johnson with Netflix yesterday. Nothing really substantial in earnings that's going to break the market. We got, after the close, really nothing. Smaller banks, smaller regional banks. Turnover for the open: P&G, GE Aerospace, McCormick's Price, Intel after the close, which is insanely overbought still. Capital One, Alcoa, CSX. But look, oh boy, this is extreme fear. This is extreme fear. What are we all going to do? So we finished the double nicely yesterday. Let's take a look. We're back into the weekly rotation zone. If we do continue to sell off, I'm still looking at 67.80 and then about 67.55. We have a potential double bottom. It's still viable. See here, I have the little harmonics. If this goes below 68.13.50, it's off the table. It is into the 4-hour rotation zone. So again, you have to be nimble. Good morning, Yogi. Yogi. It starts with LOSH. I'm sorry, it's Yogi. Trump is talking a lot of crap. Windmills, coal, saving Denmark. Yeah, I saw he was talking windmills. Hello, Charles. He slammed windmills. He's really got a thing with windmills. Really got it. All right. So pay attention. Pay attention to 68.57.50 in the next 48 minutes. Now, this might have to be taken on a break in the open. 68.75, 68.84, 68.92 are the key targets. Let me show. Remember, we talked about 4-hour rotation zones yesterday. This is exactly what I'm saying. So yesterday, 4-hour percent beat buys triggered. I said you had to be nimble because it's going against the rotation zone. Spike up to the first target in the rotation zone and then selling off. So if you're going to take, that's what I'm saying, the percent beat buys into the rotation zone, you have to be nimble with them. You have to be nimble. Don't get greedy with them. Unless you get insane momentum, I still wouldn't recommend greedy. Take some profits off, lock in something, and get a stop to break even. There is not one. We might actually set up, unless this rallies strongly after the open, for a percent beat buy next 4 hours. But the key level, regardless, I'm looking at is about 25,245, 25,250. We break above there. I'm keeping a real close eye at 25,320, at least for a stop raise, and then the other side of the rotation zone. We get through the other side of the rotation zone, same target as yesterday, 25,425 is very, very key. Above there, you're looking at 25,510 and 25,580. The other higher targets for the S&P, we went over enough, but if it does go through the 4-hour rotation zone, there's very major resistance between 69.14 to 69.25. The Dow, there obviously is no double here. We might set up for a percent beat buy next thing. If it does not, watch right around this 48,800. 48,800. Then I'm locally going to 48,870 to 48,900, then closer to 4,900 for the targets. You know what? I didn't do the downside. If we do take out, very key, if we start breaking back below this 25,150 in the NASDAQ, 24,975. Very, very key. The Russell moved my at a key level 2670. We're above there now, so that's what I'm watching going in the open. If we continue up there, stop raise around 2683 area, then to the gap fill to 2692.7. So that's what I'm looking for there. By the way, if we do break to new highs, what's the highest here? 20. That's then we have the minor is we have a cluster 2715 to 2717 roughly, and then 2724. There's just not a lot of fear. I was gonna say watch for this to drop back below 19. We're trading back below there now. All right, sloppy double top pattern. There just wasn't a lot of fear yet. It got elevated yesterday, but no fear. There's no fear in this thing. So, going to be paying attention if we sustain, continue to, and if we trigger to double. Going to be looking for the quick retrace and the bounce in the stocks to continue. There we go. The DAX continued its pullback, close or down, not yesterday, but down below the 50 today. Going to be watching for a bounce, oversold. So going to be looking for a bottoming pattern. If we continue to sell off, I'm looking closer to 24,302 if we continue to sell off. Other than that, I'll be looking to see if we get any bounce plays, and that would be for a secondary reaction only, not to new highs. The yields taking a pause, taking a little pause. We do have a let me go to 1 hour. Yeah. See, it's more a horizontal channel on the 1 hour. So really on a pullback, I'll be looking about 4.25. But the yields are taking a breather now. 30-year. 30-year. Again, it's no double there, but I'll be looking if we do drop back down to about 4.87. Crude spiking up, closing above that $60 yesterday, but still no real follow through. I'm paying attention to see if we hold 60 in the next little bit. Remember, the EIA numbers are delayed and not until tomorrow. If we do pull back, I'm paying very close attention to 59.31. Natty gas, because we have the big storm hitting. All the people who are selling tried to buy it all back in the last 2 days. Oh boy. So the only thing is if the next target is 518. Traders are insane. Gold, here you go, pulling back a little now. What do we get to a high of? 48.91. Again, magnet price around 5,000. Getting very overextended again, but would not short dark screen. Dark screen. Hey, if you're listening, do not short it. We might work. I mean, it's overbought. Yeah, we'll get, but there's no major shorting setup. Dark screen. Don't be silly. I go with the trend until the trend ends. By the way, this is getting insane. There's your monthly chart. And for all the people saying the dollar's going away, it's not going away. In the short term. In the long term, we'll see. But in the short term, people are just piling in the metals. Hand over fist. Here's your silver. There's your monthly silver. This is a lot of people are getting trapped in this at some point. Would not short it though yet. There's still, you got the $100 magnet price in silver. Copper still has a potential double on the table. Dollar index trying to form a bottom without closing below 62.5. Now, if we turn around and take out 97.81, the remaining target on the doubles off the table. We had the dollar panic yesterday. I'm going to see if it does form a little double here. That's all I'm really watching for there right now. Euro, you had the panic rally over the last couple of days. Closing actually above the 62.5, so we could see some more upside in the euro, but I'm sort of taking a breather on currencies right now. Yields in Japan taking a breather. Take a little breather after the spike yesterday. Watching to see the pullback on there. Let's see. Hello, Charles. Yeah, Don Quixote. Fighting windmills. Gotta love natty gas. Trump was talking. I know he was talking about nuclear power also. Well, they should. A lot of things should. The metals are getting insane. It's pure speculative fever now. It's not even making sense hedging anymore. So, even the gold people I know is gold's a long term. They're like, oh, gold 10,000, gold this. No, okay. We're at the point of absurdity now. It's like when people are yelling, Bitcoin a million. Speaking of Bitcoin, took another dive. It's not trading anything as a safety aspect. It's just trading as a risk asset. Period. So all those Bitcoiners said there's an alternative to gold. They've all rushed into gold. Not looking at anything right now in Bitcoin after the breakout and the back below the key support level. Spiders, key thing again is about 680.75, and yes, watch yesterday's open, 681.50. Above there, 683.65. You technically, if you have a massive rally, you have a daily percent beat buy if it does close above yesterday's high. Again, I'm looking at these are bounced. Now I'm watching secondary reaction. The market's really got to prove itself again on the next reaction up. I wrote in the Unfiltered Investor a key thing I was watching too. The Qs. Above yesterday's high would be a percent beat buy. First cross the daily rotation zone. But we've been in this choppy thing. I mean, the Qs are trading back to where they were at the beginning of October. Now they're going to bounce from here, but think about that. Right below, if we do sell off, the 605.37 is a 50% harmonic. I mean, you got a lot of stuff that's gone a lot of nowhere. Equal weight S&P. Keep an eye on this too. Return to the bottom of the daily rotation zone finally. Would be a percent beat buy also in this one. And this has been in a real, so we've got the broadening market there. What else? I mentioned J&J. J&J, I'm going to be keeping an eye. It's overextended. Still trading a little for Johnson & Johnson. Still trading. Don't love the dividend yield up here and the PE up here. I'm watching for a bigger pullback in this. And then it could be on my radar screen again. The weekly percent beat buys are really nice on Johnson & Johnson too. So I'm looking for another pullback and set up a weekly percent beat buy. Also, you see the stair stepping lower of the RSI. You got waning divergence. So could we even pull back into the monthly rotation zone? Yeah. Gonna be keeping an eye on this one. Would not be chasing it higher personally right now, even though, yeah, return to the daily rotation zone. This thing's still overdone with an EPS miss. Netflix. Now, we will get a bounce, but pay attention to this. Look at where 82 is opening. 82, what key support, even if you go to this low, 82.11. So watch where this closes in relation to 82.11 today. There might be a bounce play setting up in Netflix over the next bit. But this is not a time when you want to back up the truck. I'd be actually watching for a bounce play. Netflix is still rather expensive and is losing interest, but I'm going to be watching to see if we set up for a bigger head and shoulders up here. What else? You got chips. Still keeping an eye on this potential head and shoulders top on a weekly basis in NVIDIA. Nothing's done to invalidate it. It's actually it's not triggered yet, but nothing has happened to invalidate it. Can we start adding IWM? Why, yes, we could. I look at the futures, but I mean, IWM, you don't have a percent B buy. That's why I like watching the futures. Right now, it'd be to the gap fill for IWM on the bounce 265.76, and then your targets are 269.88 and 272.55 on a break to new highs. So there you go, Royal Palms. You know what? Here we go. For Royal Palms, there's the IWM. There you go. By the way, key support, if it does take out, if we turn around, there's very key support right around 258. Uranium. Remember, uranium back on last Friday closed above the 62.5 again. It broke out above this 49.20 area at the beginning of January. Ground up, hit the first target of the 52.80, paused there briefly, and then closed above it. So 57.94 is the next target higher. All right. That also means the pullback, which stalled out at the first target, which I said do not short, used for buying opportunities. And it also had a really nice percent B buy, is that's over. So still, from a long-term play, we finally got the reset to the monthly rotation zone. We also are in monthly double top territory. So we know the key line in the sand that I'm looking at, $40. From a long-term play, $40 is major for me. Other than that, on a pullback, you're 50 to just about $50 is very key support right now for all the uraniums players. Why am I so adverse to it? Because it's overdone. It's overdone. I'm not adverse to it. I'm a gold. So even if I'm a gold, like I like gold and I have silver too. But I'll tell you why I'm adverse to it. Because vertical up, vertical down. These kind of moves, when you see these kind of moves, they're not long-term sustainable. All right? And there's going to be a lot of people trapped in this. Gold can easily retrace. Silver can easily retrace far more than you think. So, have I said short it? No, not. I wouldn't short it with Coco's money. However, it's the same thing with Bitcoin. When everybody's calling for Bitcoin 500,000, Bitcoin 1 million, gold 10,000 now. It's not even 5,000, gold 10,000. No. It's turned into another speculative mania. You've sucked all the people out of other things, and now they're in the metals. And they're all, the metals are what's moving vertical now. Do not like vertical moves. So that's where I got to know where the stop is. Okay? The dollar is not going away in the short term. It's not. So keep that in mind. You ride it higher? Yes. But I like slow and steady moves. This turning into a speculative mania. You're welcome, Royal Palms. A lot of prop firms shut down. There's dark screen. I don't know. Coco gave up on us. So that's why. Remember, a lot of things go vertical up, vertical down. Doesn't mean they go away. That's what I want you to realize. All right? I mean, even Bitcoin went vertical at times on the bigger long-term charts. And then, vertical, boop, vertical, boop. Bitcoin could be forming by a way of massive head and shoulders on a monthly time frame. We're not there yet. So that's why I don't like vertical moves. Remember, everybody was cheering on Bitcoin. Remember this move? If you look at it back in the Bitcoin, this, and then did it go to zero? No. But this, and then, you had the secondary bump and then the move back down. Grinding higher is way better than vertical higher. So that's why I'm not, because you get overreactions both up and to the downside. And you got to be prepared for the overreactions. All right, we are open. I think Bitcoin's going a lot lower in the long term. I think you're going to see strategy is not just a micro strategy anymore. It's a macro strategy. I think you're going to see massive liquidation in that. They could even go bankrupt because of. All right. So what do we have? Going to the open, the confirmed double. See if it triggers or not. Has not triggered yet. And remember, it's against the rotation zone, so don't get greedy if it does. Other than that, not much else to talk about. So everyone have a wonderful trading day. We still got Davos going on, so we could be bombarded with stuff for the next few hours until Switzerland goes to bed. So let's just keep that in mind. And I shall talk to everyone tomorrow. Have a wonderful, wonderful trading day. Bye for now.